Hey everybody, that's the Beardy. Back with Beardy's books here on the Beardy and the Baldy channel. So sit down, strap in, put your headphones on, whatever it is you do to get ready to watch videos, because I'm going to take you on my comic haul rundown for April 12th, 2017. I got 8 books, so some of these are pretty highly anticipated new number ones from Marvel, and some other great things in here as well. So get ready, because Beardy's Books is back, and I'm going to try to not say so many B words in the next couple minutes. Alright, first up from Marvel Comics is Weapon X number 1. So you kind of got a slight return of the Marvel corner box art there. Although you don't have the issue number and all that stuff over there, but hey. Gotta say, this is not a book I was super excited about getting myself. No offense to any fans or the artist himself, should you ever see this, but I'm not a big fan of Greg Land's artwork. While it is very dynamic and very, very well done, and he can definitely get the books out every month, it's just a style that does not appeal to me. But that said, I gotta say this cover is pretty impressive, and the story inside from Greg Pak, excuse me, is more interesting than the Prime one shot that came out a couple weeks ago led me to believe. Yeah, the Weapon X. It's featuring, of course, Old Man Logan, as the main continuity Wolverine is still dead or encased in adamantium, however you want to view that. Domino, Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, and we got Warpath back over here. So this is a unlikely team of would-be heroes. Just to keep it in a nutshell, it seems like someone is hunting down very specific mutants, and some of these mutants decide to team up together to figure out who and why they're doing this. So it's kind of a great jumping in point for kind of a team of the wild and more intense, slashy characters in the Marvel Universe, as it were. So it's not on par with Uncanny X-Force at this point, or the last run of Uncanny X-Men, where they were kind of the Wetworks team. This is kind of a team that is being... It's not even really a team, it's just a group that's kind of getting forced together based on the situation they're in. So it'll be interesting to see where that story goes, despite my maybe not necessarily over-enthusiastic view of the artist in responsible work. It is a pretty good issue. It does read well. The coloring is great. Let's see. The colorist on here, maybe somewhere I'll find the title page, or not. Colorist, Frank D'Armata. Great job. There's some great artwork in here. I can show you this. This is just kind of like Old Man Logan having some flashbacks to his life and stuff, but there's some great coloring going on in here. And just for an example, one of the things I'm not a big fan of, why I don't like Greg Land art, is that's Laura Kinney, X-23, who, as far as I know, is still a teenager. And I don't know, a lot of Greg Land's women always look the same. Like, it looks like it's the same woman with a different costume or different hair color. But that, again, sorry, I'm derailing here. It's a fun issue. I really enjoy it. I'm interested to see where the story goes. Up next, I got a new number 1 from Image Comics, who is celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. So make sure you check with your comic shop, or if you're local to my area, check out Comics Connection in York or Mechanicsburg. There's lots of cool stuff coming this year from Image. They, in my opinion, are top tier publisher, up there with Marvel and DC as far as the quality and quantity of stuff they put out. And the nice thing about Image is, as much as I love the shared universes of Marvel and DC, Image, most of the books are standalone, so it's completely up to the creators and how all that works. But there's an amazing batch of stuff in Image right now, and they just keep cranking out really great stuff. That said, new number 1 this week from Meredith Finch and Ig Guara. I apologize if I said that name wrong. It's a new fantasy adventure series called Rose. It's about this this kind of alternate world or different world or past where different people have these powers. They connect with the cats. I believe how do they spell it? Khatz. And you see these panels where these different warriors and leaders fighting with different big cats, and you kind of get a little history that something goes wrong, someone evil is taken over, and they're hunting down anyone else who would oppose them. So it's kind of got some typical fantasy tropes going on in it, but like with the James Cameron Avatar movie, it's a very basic plot in general, but I really like the way they did the things different. So it'll be interesting to see where this story goes. Clearly, we think this woman is going to get partnered up with a large cat of her own at some point. But it's really interesting, and I absolutely love the artwork in this. I mean, I can't say I've seen Iguara's stuff on anything else before. If I did not pay enough attention to the name. But it kind of evokes a little bit of a Stuart Immonen vibe in the expressions and stuff, so you can get a little bit of the views there. But it's great. It's great. If you like things like Robin Hood or any other sort of Lord of the Rings fantasy type books, if those are books you're more drawn to, you might want to check Rose out. It's out today. It's got 2 different covers, and Meredith Finch most recently did a run on Wonder Woman, which I was not too thrilled with. But when I saw she was doing her own series with original content, original ideas, original characters, I was more intrigued to see where she was going to go with that. So I was not disappointed. It was a lot of fun. Unstoppable Wasp number 4, picking up right where the last issue left off, as Nadia goes up against the I believe they're calling her pound cakes. This book is a pure delight and joy to read. It is just fun. The new Wasp, Nadia, who is the daughter of Hank Pym and his first wife, she is just a bundle of energy and joy and just loves being around people. She loves stopping bad guys and watching her interactions with her new friends, old friends, with the villains, how she deals with Jarvis, or Jarvis deals with her more like, is very cool. It's a great series, and I'm really enjoying what they're doing with that. So if you haven't checked out, she first debuted in the all-new, all-different Avengers last year. I believe it was issue 9. Was in that story for a while, and then they launched her own series a couple months ago. So this has been a lot of fun. So if you like fun, plucky, full of energy characters, definitely check out Unstoppable Wasp. Next up, Wonder Woman 20. This is the... they're still doing the alternate every other issue. They're going back and forth between different stories, and this is Godwatch Part 3, where they're dealing with the more current timeline and what's going on with these characters, and how it's interesting because it's giving you a little more detail, a little more background into different things, and they're alluding to that Wonder Woman during the whole New 52 run, where she's going back to Themyscira all the time, or however you say it, none of that was actually real, and you're seeing a little bit more of why perhaps that wasn't real, or different things. It's really an interesting build-up to everything that happened in the New 52 without completely dismissing it. So, and great artwork, great stories. Greg Rucka is really nailing the Wonder Woman story there. And so yeah, check that out. Especially you got the movie coming this summer for Wonder Woman, so there's a lot of great things going on for Princess Diana in her series and in the world at large. So I'm really looking forward to the Wonder Woman movie. Hope that I'm trying not to get my expectations too high, but the trailers have looked really good, and I just really want it to do well. So here's hoping that it does. All right, next up is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 6. We've got on this alternate Earth, this alternate timeline, Peter and MJ are still together, and they have their daughter, Annie Mae, who has spider powers of herself, and MJ is Spinneret. She's sharing Peter's powers with the Regent device, or the Regent technology that they defeated during the Secret War story. And in this issue, Professor X comes calling and asks Peter and MJ to bring their daughter to the Xavier School, and the X-Men are a little bit familiar and yet drastically different at the same time. And we get some lowdown on some Marvel events that went down differently in this this iteration of the Marvel Universe that was really interesting and exciting to see. All right, another one, another off Marvel DC title that came out of nowhere a couple months ago, and I've absolutely loved it, is Vault Comics' Heathen. This series is focusing on a young Viking girl who has decided she's going to free Brunhilde from her fiery mountain prison, and it's just really interesting the take they're doing on this series, and I just absolutely love the artwork in this book. I mean, there's just an amazing look and style and color and feel to this book. So Natasha Alterici, I apologize if I'm saying names wrong, is the writer and the artist. So she's doing double work, and it's just amazing. And then you've got Tess Fowler and Tamara Bonvillain on. I'm really confused about the art on this. So Tess Fowler is on pencils and inks, and Tamara Bonvillain is doing colors, and Natasha Alterici is doing the writing and art for the covers. Maybe, I'm not sure. But it is amazing. I love it. Apologize for the creators working on this book that I just butchered that so badly for you. It's a great book. I love it. You've got to check this out. Unfortunately, it is highly sought after, but second prints for #1 should be coming soon to your stores. I know we're getting some in at Comics Connection, so be on the lookout for those. I love it. It's great, and I really encourage you to try to track that down. And if you can't find the single issues, be on the lookout for hopefully the inevitable collected edition that comes out probably later this year. And we got 2 more books for you today. Next to last, but not least at all, is Silver Surfer #10. This issue was a lot of fun. I have really come to love the bond and relationship between Dawn Greenwood back here and Norrin Radd, Silver Surfer. This series has just been a lot of fun for the last couple of years. It's a character I've never really cared about. Didn't care about, but was just not that interested in. And Dan Slott and the All Reds have made me love this character and what he offers the Marvel Universe. So check this issue out. It's a lot of fun. It's a good one issue, so if you haven't been reading it, it gives you some good flavor to what's been going on in the series and all that. And last but not least, a book I've been really waiting for is X-Men Blue. It's the companion book to X-Men Gold that started last week, and I'm going to hopefully get back to review that in a couple issues from last week down the road. But X-Men Blue with an amazing cover by Arthur Adams with the original 5 X-Men. So this is essentially the new version of the all-new X-Men book. So these are the same original 5 mutants from the 60s that current Beast went back and brought to the current timeline. And they are stuck here, and Jean is now leading the team, and it's really interesting. Fun issue. They go up against a couple of classic X-Men villains in this, and it feels like more like your classic X-Men adventure. Great artwork in here from Jorge Molina and Matteo Buffagni. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Colors by Matt Mila, and it's just a gorgeous issue. It's a lot of fun. I'm trying not to spoil anything here, but I mean, this is a pretty great splash page here. It reminds me very much of X Factor 69 back in the 90s, what got me into X-Men, when you had the original adult team that was X Factor at the time, leaping off the steps of the White House into action. And there's a really cool backup story that I will not show you anything from because I believe it reveals the identity of a character that they've been teasing is going to be coming back in this series. So, which I believe I was right in my, I wish I would have been doing these videos to tell you I was right. But anyway, check these out now. Comic Connection Mechanicsburg and York for your new comics today, April 12th, 2017. This is the Beardy, signing off.